Bangwinzi, Shoji Enei Peter Oji. Dene Ishi, Shakai Ivan Peter Oji, Netai Gwichin Nili, Diginai Govoshri, Natna Esh, Tsa Chelil Tsa Anaba, Tanana Dene Gonan Guerichi, Juk Shaginai, Juk Shaginjik, Gehi, Yat Edo, Yahe, Enei Begaye Peter Haji ni Nishlanto Torch Ini Abashichin, Do Ashin Dashanala Akte, Dinestan Nishla, Shantode Yesinasha. Hello, and it's very good to be here. My name is Enei Begaye Peter. I'm Dine and Tanaatam, and I just said my introductions to you in Gwichin and in Navajo. I am honored to be here as a guest to present at the virtual Gwichin gathering as a partner organization from Native Movement. But first I wanted to introduce myself and my family. My partner is Yvonne Peter, married into Netsai Gwichin Nation, and our children here. I'm very honored to be able to speak to you all as a partner organization and give you a little bit of an understanding of Native movement and what we have been doing in partnership with Gwichin Steering Committee and in all of our work throughout the state. Here is a picture of a lot of our, not all of our board and staff and advisory board members, but a good number of our leadership that comes from throughout Alaska. We have community organizing spaces in both Fairbanks and in Anchorage, and we have organizers spread out throughout the state. Before I get into some of our work, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what Native Movement's vision and work is, and here's a little bit of our mission statement. Native Movement is dedicated to building people power, grounded in Indigenous values for the health and well-being of Mother Earth and all her living beings. Native Movement supports grassroots-led Indigenous projects that endeavor to ensure Indigenous people's rights, the rights of Mother Earth, and the building of healthy, sustainable, and just communities for all. And you can see here in these bubbles 4 areas of our work. We do a lot of work throughout the state, and we see our work fitting into a lot of these areas: movement building, resistance or justice work, healing and well-being, and solutions building. All of that grounded and rooted in an Indigenous worldview. So we have been honored to work alongside Gwichin Steering Committee in defense of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge and in defense of many sacred places. In particular, we've been working together with Gwichin Steering Committee, filling other areas, bringing other bases in to support and stand with the Gwichin people. We have been working to support Inupiaq people who are also standing up to protect and their homelands as well. So you can see some of the artwork here that we have been a part of creating. We really feel that art is the first place in which we can begin our messages, and we want to grow our movement from this place of art. So we've done a lot of the direct action, especially before COVID. We part of organizing a lot of protests or demonstrations and bringing Indigenous speakers to the forefront to advocate for protecting Indigenous hunting and fishing rights, Indigenous way of life. Also, though, this year was a big year. We in our solutions building work, we are part of leading a coalition called the Just Transition Collective. And before COVID hit in January, we were honored to be able to co-host the first Alaska Just Transition Summit. And the Just Transition model that we use is really about remembering forward. We understand that when we're building paths, economic pathways and community pathways forward, and so when we talk about just transition, we're talking about how do we build just and equitable transitions away from oil and gas and coal economies, and how do we build the communities that we want to see based on our values. And the concept of remembering forward is this understanding that Indigenous peoples have that relationship to the land for time immemorial, and therefore also that knowledge, that science, that ways of knowing is critical to informing the path forward. So that's what we mean when we say remembering forward. So we had a really dynamic gathering in January in Fairbanks where over 200 people came to our summit to talk about how we transition our economy. And this is critical discussion as we're talking about protecting sacred places, as we're talking about stopping future oil and gas development. We have to be also building the solutions. And so over 200 people came from different sectors of our community. Not just community organizers and conservation groups, but also union representatives, tribal leadership, education representatives, healthcare representatives. We had some really great dialogues over 3 days of how we can begin to build connections across our sectors and across the state to really build a path forward. So this was a really dynamic summit. After the summit, we've continued to do a number of things, and you can check out the website www.justtransitionalaska.org. We have on that site a toolkit. We have on that site a coloring book. That's what you see over here on the right. The coloring book is really fun. You should check it out. We did a number of webinars that are recorded and you can watch there. Check it out. Okay. So we also do work on advocating for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. We had been doing rallies and in-person things before COVID. This year, we did a lot of online things, women's self-defense classes online. October 5th through the 10th, we're doing a virtual 5K run. So you can check out more information on how you can do that at our Facebook page. That's Native Movement Alaska on Facebook. Uh, we create a lot of spaces for healing as well and sharing. And here's a picture of some of the women's gatherings that we would have before COVID. We're also having online men's gatherings, and you can find out more about those. Actually, the women's gathering and the men's gathering are both on Facebook virtually now, or they're not. You have to sign up, and then you'll get a link, and you can join them virtually. So check those out on our Facebook page. We also are doing a number of circles every occasionally, also around for gender non-binary people. Also, so if you don't identify as women or if you don't identify as men, then we are also trying to create more spaces for dialogues to happen outside of those two spaces. So we have in the past done a lot of organizer gatherings. This a picture on the left is a picture of one of our past Northern Organizer Summits at Howard Luke's camp. This year we had to move our camp into the virtual space. So on the right, you'll see some pictures of our camp this year that had I think we had around 40 to 50 people on camp this year. And we dive deep into good discussions and readings, and we encouraged everybody to go camping, and then we come back and have these Zoom sessions. So hopefully we can have camps in person again next year, but if not, check out some of our virtual gatherings. They're also really fun way to learn and grow and share with people. This year's been pretty wild with COVID and all of the things that have been happening. We've been working with partners throughout the state to help people, to keep people from being evicted from their homes and to keep utilities from being shut off. Here's a quick guide that you can find on our Facebook page and our website for how you can protect yourself from being evicted, what you need to do to apply for support, and then of course we're advocating to our state government for ensuring that people are not put on the street or without a home because of loss of income due to COVID. Also, we've been responding to the too many police killings of Black and Indigenous people. This year, we did host a rally to stand up for Black Lives Matter. We were working with Black-led organizations in the state, and but showing up as allies, as Native people for our relatives, and that's been really important work that we have continued to follow through on outside of rallies by creating a statewide coalition working to address police brutality and racial discrimination and police violence, really. So if you're interested in joining a working group to address, there are numerous things to address community safety in our state. And so I should put my email out too, but feel free to contact us by our website to get involved. Let's see. We're also doing on October 8th a candidate forum from 5 to 7 p.m. It says Fairbanks, but it's a statewide candidate forum. So we have a big elections coming up this year. We really hope people get out and vote. If you want to know more about who the candidates are to vote for, what they stand for, check out our Climate, Jobs, and Justice Candidate Forum, October 8th. Again, you can go to Facebook and find that information to sign up to get the Zoom. We're also hosting a virtual Indigenous Peoples Day on October 12th. So this is going to be kicking off AFN Week, actually, and Elders and Youth Week with a rally on October 12th, a virtual rally. Sign up to attend or mark it in your calendars. We're going to hear from some really dynamic speakers. Also, Portugal the Man is going to play at our rally, and Mark Brown. So better come check it out. And one of the most exciting things that has happened this year is that we have a new space in Fairbanks, and this is our new building in Fairbanks, where it's a community organizing hub where Gwichin Steering Committee and Fairbanks Climate Action Coalition and other community organizing entities have office space, have community space, have conference center space. And so this is a pretty big achievement for the year. And right now we're not working very much from it because of COVID, but we are doing some work there safely. And if people give us heads up before they come by, we'll love to visit in a safe way. So we have a lot going on. I'm sure I missed a bunch because it's pretty late at night right now and I'm recording this. But if you want to learn more about Native movement, go to www.nativemovement.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on Twitter. And again, we are just honored to be able to work with Gwichin Steering Committee for the past number of years, and to be able to support however we can in the various ways that we do support the protection of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. And I think that I'm not able to stay on to answer any questions, but Jodie Potts, who is our regional director, is around, is available right now to answer questions if anybody has any. Masicho, I hope to see you later.